Today we are at Keowee-Toxaway State Park, which is a small park in northwest South Carolina and is on Lake Keowee, just south of Lake Keowee. We're not actually too far from the dam. But today I'm going to show you the campsite we are at. We are at tent site number 2 in the tenting area, and I'm going to show you this area, then I'll show you some cool stuff about the park. We really like this park because it's usually not too busy. Today is Memorial Day weekend, and there's almost nobody here, and the people that are here, it's just very calm and quiet. So this is usually a park we like to come to when we just come on a quick little trip, but we're here for 3 days this weekend because of the long weekend, so we've been able to explore, and we've been to this park a lot. It does have a nice swimming area, which I'll show you. And now let's go look at tent spot number 2 that we're staying at this week, and it's the largest tent site in the whole campground. Alright, so here you park your cars, and you have a tent spot right here, and you have a water spigot right here. So they do have tent pads, they have a picnic table, there's a spot right here, and there's spot T2, which where we were at, there used to be a spot right here, but they got rid of it, which is really nice. So now you're not walking through anybody's campsite, but you'll walk down here, not too far, 50 feet or so, and you have this whole area, which is really big for a campsite, especially for a small park like this. A lot of the spots, you're right next to each other, especially if you're up top, and there's like a circle and everybody's right in the middle, but they have gotten rid of some spots that you're not walking through other people's campsites. But as you can see, this is a really big site. So they do have camp pads. It's a really big spot. They have a fire pit, and there's a lot of trees, so if you like hammocks, this is a good spot because you can put a hammock over here and you're not really near anybody else that's going to bother you. So if you look up here, there's a spot right there which might have somebody, but usually they're facing the other way. Their fire pit's on the other side. So we actually had somebody there one night and we didn't even really realize they were there. They were super sweet, didn't bother anybody. They were pretty cool. So we've never really had real issues with people. It's just, you know, a smaller site, smaller campground, so a lot of people are close to each other. But this is spot number 2. This is probably our favorite spot or our second favorite spot. We like number 1 because it's also by itself, but it's right next to the bathroom. This is the farthest walk to the bathroom, which is still probably only like 3 or 4 minutes. You just walk up here and the bathroom's right there. The bathrooms are usually really clean. Never had any issues with the bathroom here. So another thing about this spot is there's a trail right here that goes down to the lake. So we'll go check out this trail, which takes us down to Lake Keowee, and I'll go show you the swimming area. So this is the trail down to the lake. I would highly recommend taking the trail if you're going to walk instead of taking the road, because the road is paved. It is fairly straight, but it seems longer and it seems a lot harder because it is very steep. So this takes about 13 minutes to get down to the swimming area at the lake. I have noticed that we get more reception here than we used to in the past. So every year seems to be a little bit more reception. So that's nice if you bring your phone. So that's something to know. The store does not sell much, but there is a gas station, you know, 3 or 4 miles down the road on the other side of the lake. And that's got everything, propane, anything you would need there. And so that's always kind of a nice spot sometimes that we stop to go get some ice cream or something small. So one of the benefits of this park is it's not very full because the parking lot only has, I believe, 8 parking spots. And so when the parking spot gets full, then people will park at the top and walk down. But a lot of people don't want to do that. So even on a big holiday, it's not too bad down here, but the lake will be full. So the swimming is a kind of away from all the boats, but if you take a kayak out on this lake on a busy weekend like this, it can be a little rough, especially getting in and out of the boats. They have a stepped area that you use to get into the boats, and so that's not bad. There's no boat ramp. There is a cabin down here with a little dock, but there's no, at least I don't believe there's a specific boat ramp over there, but there's no boat ramp at the parking lot. So it's only, you know, tubes, kayaks, stuff like that. But as you can see, this trail isn't too bad. Makes its way down around these ravines, and then you get to the water. So what is your favorite part of this campground this week?
My favorite part of the campground is when we walk down this hill. There's like this, it's like we're like on a cliff, so there's a huge like ravine right there, and it's really cool to look at. And when you get all the way down to the lake, there's some parts where you can just like sit and watch the lake, and you can also go swim in the lake. There is a ramp, and there's tons of sand where you can go to the lake. So my favorite part to do at that part is to play in the sand. I like playing in the sand a lot.
Yeah, there's no playground at this park. So kind of you're just going to play around your campsite, or you're going to play down at the lake, which has a nice swimming area, which is sand. Beach. Here's the swimming area and the beach. The small beach this time because the water's so high. You can see all the boats and a bird. But all the boats will just come through here. Here's the lake, there's the island. People hang out over there. No camping. There's all the people coming through. And the parking lot. Not very big, doesn't hold a lot of spots. But there it is. So now let's talk about what we ate this trip. Usually we only camp 2 nights for the weekend, but we're camping 3 because it's a long weekend, so we're going to try some new things. So this week we started with just hamburgers on Friday night, and then Monday morning we did bagels, and then yesterday for lunch we did hot dogs, and then for supper we made pizzas. We have a Ooni pizza grill, and that was a lot of fun, so we used that. We brought that. It's really heavy. It's a Karu 16. So it's really big, it's really heavy, it's not easy to take. We've never brought it camping before. We pre-made the dough, kept it in the cooler and brought it with us. And then today we are going to make Philly cheesesteaks, or just an easy version of Philly cheesesteaks. And then tonight we're gonna make some ice cream. If that all works out, we'll see. We put it together this morning, we're keeping it cool right now. We have someone that does have power. There's no power at our spot. So we're going to use somebody else's campsite and use their power because we have an electric one. We could hand mix it, but that's just too much work. And then we also have some tacos that we will make probably for lunch tomorrow before we head out. So that's what we're eating this week. And then we have a few little snacks of bananas and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But those are our main meals for this week that we will be eating. Sometimes you just have to camp in the rain.